Masters of the Obvious intro. And hello and welcome to the Masters of the Obvious. I am Isaac Rodriguez, the creator of the Double Legal Process. This is the place where we talk about things that are obvious to us, but not necessarily obvious to everyone else. For example, I do a lot of training on presenting and talking to people about public speaking and talking on film or on camera. And many tell me that they can't do it or don't have the skills and so on. But ultimately, I know that they do because I've seen them speak very, very well. But what it comes down to is a lot of insecurity. And believe it or not, there's insecurity related to employment law. And my guest today, Yogi Patel, managing partner at Lloyd Patel, LLP, knows all things employment law related. And tell me how this concept applies.
Thanks, Isaac, for having me. First of all, most people who go through a job interview process spend months sometimes going through that process. When they receive an offer of employment, often think that it's a take it or leave it proposition. In other words, what if they rescind this offer if I ask for things that are not in there, or if I push back a little bit? The reality at the end of the day is that you've gone through this arduous process of going through the interview process. They've identified you as the candidate that they like. They've invested time and effort into it. And believe it or not, that's your leverage. That's the only opportunity that most people will have to negotiate terms that are different than what put in front of them and what they will eventually be subject to, whether it's non-competes, non-solicitation clauses, things that could really impact them on the back end. For most people, that's a condition of your employment. In other words, signing these documents. And so if you wait to negotiate these terms on the back end, there is no incentive for any employer to do so. In fact, you're bound to those terms by then. So for most people, to your point, it's the lack of self-worth that makes them feel that they can't ask for more right in that moment. In fact, by doing so, they're afraid that they're going to get the carpet pulled out from under them. My advice here would be ask reasonably. There's a way to ask, but it should also tell you who those people are, and how they respond should be a clear indication of their cultural values. In other words, if they see you as being greedy by advocating for a better position for yourself, it should say something to you about whether or not these are the right type of people for you to be working with. So just something to think about.
No question about it. It goes both ways. Thank you so much, Yogi, for joining me. If we want to learn more, how do we find you?
You can check us out on LinkedIn. I'm at Yogi Patel, or www.lloydpatel.com. Thanks so much, Isaac.
Thank you, Yogi. Here's the outro. Masters of the Obvious outro.